June is fast approaching and I've put together a TBR, books I would like to read in the month of June. My name is Jim, this is my channel, books, reading and stuff. First on my TBR, or my pile of possibilities, is Babel by R F Kuang. A couple of years ago I read and enjoyed The Poppy War, the first of her fantasy trilogy. Babel is about a Chinese boy in the 19th century, Robin, who grows up in England and goes to Oxford University at the time of the Opium Wars. I don't know a lot about the book, but when it came out 2 years ago, a lot of the booktubers were raving about it. Last year, her more recent book, Yellowface, her first foray into literary fiction, got the Goodreads Choice Award, and she is still under 30. It's incredible. Then I have Bodywork by Sara Paretsky. This is the 14th V.I. Warshawski novel. V.I. Warshawski is a private eye working in Chicago. In this book, she's invited to an edgy nightclub in Chicago, the Gouge, and in that nightclub there's a body artist, and the body artist is inviting patrons to paint on her naked body. One of the painters, a woman, is savagely killed afterwards. She dies in V.I. Warshawski's arms, and it seems that the murderer is an Iraq veteran, but V.I. Warshawski is hired by the veteran's family to prove that he was innocent. June on BookTube is synonymous with June on the Range, an event created by Michael K Vaughan, encouraging us to read westerns. I've taken part in it the past couple of years. It's a fun event, and for this year's June on the Range I've got 2 Louis L'Amour novels. One is Riders of the Dawn, one is Showdown Trail. I don't know much about either of them, but they'll be set in the West, and Louis L'Amour is a great storyteller. Last month, May, was a Georgian readathon. I didn't read as much as I wanted to because I spent most of my May reading Otar Chiladze, A Man Was Going Down the Road. So I had this one left over. So this will be on my June TBR, Hard by a Great Forest by Leo Vardiashvili. I noticed Brian from Bookish enjoyed this, although Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot was less enthusiastic about it. It's about this family in the Georgian Civil War, and the father and the 2 sons go abroad, but the mother can't join them because she doesn't have the passport. And then the father and the 2 sons, after the Civil War, they go back to Georgia, to Tbilisi, to try to find Eka, their mother. Then I have The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab is fast becoming my favorite fantasy writer, and I read the Shades of Magic trilogy, and this is a continuation of that, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It's about these 4 parallel Londons. There's a grey London, which is like our own London, but in the 19th century with no magic. Then there's a red London with all the magic, the white London that used to have magic, and the black London that's desolate and burnt out because of all the magic. And there's these Antari who can move between one London and the other. I'm looking forward to it. 7th, I have an e-arc. This is Murder at Traitor's Gate by Irina Shapiro. This is the 2nd book in the Tate and Bell mysteries. Sebastian Bell is an inspector with Scotland Yard. This is set in the second half of the 19th century, and he is joined in his investigations by Gemma Tate. Gemma Tate was a nurse in the Crimean War. She can't officially work for Scotland Yard, but she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills. So in the first book they worked together on a case, and now they'll be working on another case. This is a book by Storm Publishing. I pulled this off on my random book from the shelves a few weeks ago. Slapstick by Kurt Vonnegut. I've only read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. The Slapstick tells the tale of these twins, Wilbur Swain and his sister Eliza. It's very funny. They're immensely hideous, helpless and vile in their infancy. Their wealthy parents are forced to send them to live on a nearby asteroid. The monstrous pair together have a joint intelligence that outstrips the greatest computers, but individually they're almost like idiots. It's very funny, and Wilbur at one point becomes president of the United States when, after gravity has taken a turn to make everything heavier and the skyscrapers in New York fall down. Kurt Vonnegut is very inventive. He's unique, I think, as a writer. June is also the time for the caribathon, reading literature from the Caribbean. Marlon James is a writer from Jamaica. Black Leopard, Red Wolf is a fantasy. It's been described as a black Game of Thrones. I don't know a lot about it. I know Alan from Big Hard Books and Classics is a big fan of Marlon James, and I've wanted to read something by Marlon James for a long time. And finally, last but by no means least, A Sea of Rust by C. Robert Cargill. This is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humans are being wiped out by the robots, and it's about a scavenging robot trying to stay away from the community of networked robots who are out to dominate what's left of the Earth. The cover looks fantastic, and I want to read this. It seems it might even have a type of Western vibe, but set in a post-apocalyptic Earth. So that's my TBR. Let me know in the comments what books you plan to read for June. If you're taking part in June on the Range, Caribathon, or any other events. And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.